What's happening, people? Welcome back to the channel. You got myself, Tommy. We got Abib, Akeem, and Saeed. For the first time ever, Akeem will see you in the Arsenal kit.
Yeah, listen.
You must be coming. Like, what? You come from the pub or when did you watch the game?
Yeah, I watched it. I watched it in the pub.
Okay,
I watched it in North London.
Must have been a lonely walk home.
No, it wasn't lonely. I was with company, so it wasn't lonely, but it was quiet.
Okay, yeah.
It was quiet.
You're ready for the celebrations, though, isn't it? If you're in North London, you're ready for the celebrations, right?
Bro, we like when I was going with my friend, we both agreed it was 50-50. We knew it was 50-50. It could go either way. And we're not playing a dead team. We're playing a team that has won. What was it? 6 titles out of 7 years. Like, come on, bro. Like, we've won everything. Like, they're not dead, and they are our main rivals for this league that we're currently in now. So, like, it was always a 50-50 game and a one-off game. This is why I say we have a better chance of winning the Champions League than the FA Cup, because the FA Cup is one-off game, and more time, if we play a big team, it's gonna be a 50-50. It can go either way. And just like today, it didn't go our way.
Cool. All right, look, we'll get into more detail anyway, because I like the fact that Abib is always quiet, knowing very well what's coming. But, but the only thing that's helping you out this week is the cup final is going to mask a lot of what's happened with your team over the week.
Why you guys gotta say F me for? I'm just here enjoying the podcast, you know. Watch nice, lovely cup final. What about what? I'm an innocent bystander in this.
We'll get to that.
There's no innocent bystanders on this pod.
We're here to talk about the biggest game of the weekend, the cup final. That's what we're here to enjoy and discuss. We don't need to worry about all these other irrelevant games in the Premier League. Who cares about that?
We'll get to all of that in a second. But first, people, please subscribe to the channel. Click the like button, turn on your notification to know whenever we upload. And comment, man. Let us know what your thoughts are on this weekend's game. Let us know what your thoughts are on the final. Do you think Arteta should have done more? Do you think the Arsenal players should have done more? Who do you put the blame at? And in terms of like the Premier League weekend, Chelsea, Liverpool drop points. Who do you think is going to make top 4? And the relegation discussion as well. We'll hopefully have some time.
Drop points. Don't forget that. Man United drop points too.
Bro,
do you really want to go there?
I don't think it's drop points. I think it's a point game.
Bring it.
After what's happened in the weekend, I would say it's a point gain, as I said.
Yeah, I think it's a point game.
Because if you look at it, we're now 6 points ahead of Liverpool from being 5 and 7 points ahead of Chelsea from being 6. So point game. But look, we'll get to all of that in a bit. Look, there's only one place to start, man. One place to start, and as Abib alluded to earlier, it's the final. Myself and Abib watched it together with Toyib. He was very quiet.
Big up Toyib.
Never seen him so quiet.
I've never heard him so quiet. He was so quiet. And to be fair, we could have gone in on him more, but I guess I don't know. Maybe because I felt like they're gonna win the league anyway. I don't want to start obviously going in on him as much. But
sure, you gotta be careful. It's one of them ones where the more you dish out, you know you're gonna get it back at the same time. So you can throw a few jabs, but just know they're gonna come back and knock you out. So I have to be, be careful.
Exactly. But look, let's get straight into like the reaction from the game. Akeem, I'll hand over to you, but obviously just a quick roundup from my perspective, from my viewing of the game. He obviously had like the first 10 minutes. He was quite dominant within that first 10 minutes. And I believe, is it 10 or 15? I don't know. I think it's 10. And of course, as soon as Trafford made those 3 saves, I just felt City was dominant in the game. In the first half, despite their dominant, they weren't still creating much because you guys was quite compact in your defending. You had a lot of men behind the ball. I think what you did well is to still try and keep City honest. You kept 2 up top. You kept Abbott's and what's his name?
Victor.
Yeah, Victor Gyökeres up top. So and I think City's boys they dealt with that well because they recycled the ball quite quickly, and if anything, they was willing to give away like a free kick or take a yellow card just to like so you can't disrupt like their game. And in the second half, and I think they just obviously went up a notch with the mistake from your goalkeeper. They got the first goal, and I thought what was so important to the game while you guys were preparing to react to that goal. You can see the bench getting ready and players getting ready to come on. They got that second goal, and I thought that's what killed the game. And after that, they just, whereas they've done so well keeping the ball, they just continue to keep the ball. And obviously,
not even keep the ball. They managed them. There was parts of that
they just
second half.
managed
They
the
let us
game.
have the ball, but they just managed the game.
Yeah, I agree. And one thing you can't do is, and I always say this a lot, is you can't just turn it off and turn it on whenever you like. You can't all of a sudden be ultra defensive and now all of a sudden now want to attack. I just don't think it works like that with a switch of a finger. So you have to go in the game, go into games with like a certain mentality, and wherever you go into, if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. Then that's when it gets scrutinized. I don't really mind how teams play cup finals. I always say this. I don't care whether you had, even if the manager's behind the ball, I don't really care as long as you win it. But once you don't win that game, then you open up yourself for scrutiny, and I think that's where we are right now. So I just hand over to you, man. How I know you're saying ahead of the game you felt it was a 50-50 game.
Yeah.
How did you feel?
Yeah, I felt quietly confident. Because I believed we had the personnel to go and hurt City. But then when I realized that Eze wasn't starting, that kind of knocked my confidence a bit. And our midfield, I think City where City won the game was their midfield. Was definitely their midfield and their two wingers. Their two wingers retained possession and kept recycling the ball better than our two wingers could do. Our midfield couldn't retain the ball. We lacked that upper echelon, that elite technical ability on the ball to like. Okay, so Havertz, you all know my feelings on Havertz. I'm not his biggest fan, but I do feel he can do a job in certain games. That was not a game for Havertz to be playing in midfield or as a second striker. We really missed Eze because Rodri and Bernardo Silva, oh my days. Especially Bernardo. I said it before, he's been my favorite City player for a very, very long time. Even when KDB was there, I've always preferred Bernardo to KDB. And today was one of the display he put out there was one of the reasons why. His retention of the ball, his threat of carrying the ball in tight spaces, second to almost none, bro. Like that guy is just fabulous footballer on the ball. He can dictate the tempo, he can pull the strings, he can play the through ball, he can give you any kind of pass you need or want. And we lack that today in our midfield with Rice, Mendy, and Havertz dropping in there. We had nobody that could really get a hold of the ball, look after it, especially in that second half. The first 10, 15 minutes, I thought we were slightly the better team. But then after that, City were growing into the game, and the last 10, 15 minutes of the first half, you could see that they were more dominant and their technical ability was showing, especially with Bernardo and Rodri and Cherki. That midfield three's technical ability was outshone ours by far. It was night and day. I'll be honest about when I need to when it calls for, and it calls for it today. Zubimendi was very disappointing today for me. Although he tried to win his duels, I felt like he got out-muscled a couple times. I feel he couldn't retain the ball. Rice, you already know my feelings on Rice. I believe he needs to be playing a bit deeper to protect our back four a bit more, because when he gets the ball forward, and he's in an advanced position, should I say, he lacks what Bernardo lacks.
Yes. Sorry to interrupt, Hakeem. I just thought that's interesting because me and Tommy were actually having the exact same
I was gonna
argument
say that.
today, so it's just really interesting.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, but
I
I've been
didn't want
saying
to
this
cut
for
you off, but that's exactly what even throughout the whole game, that's exactly the conversation me and
I've been
Abdul was
saying this
having.
for weeks. Like I said, I don't want to see Odegaard in the team unless he's playing deeper with a Rice or Zubimendi, because he is a conductor. Like, we lacked a conductor today. We had nobody that can keep the ball, try and dictate the tempo. So we will win the first ball and then lose it straight away. We'll play into Havertz, we'll lose it. Play into Anonymous and we'll lose it. And Victor Anonymous, that's what I'm calling him now. Like, we'll play it and then lose it. We'll play it into Trossard and then lose it. So, like, we needed somebody who, especially in that middle of the park, who could take the ball, drop the shoulder, or take it in very, very compact, tight spaces, and pop it off, find space, and receive it again. We had nobody that could do that. Havertz can't do that. That was not a game for him. We missed Eze. We missed Odegaard. And this is what I was saying, why we shouldn't have let Wanyeri go, because he's a player that I believe we could be molding into that kind of player. But hey, what do I know? I'm just a fan. The second half, I wanted the subs to come on earlier, but before that, the way we started that second half was, it was diabolical. It's like we just let City have the ball. I don't know if it's we let City have the ball, or it was what I said earlier, like their technical ability just outshone ours. I thought we was as combative as we could be. And yeah, City just literally just dog walked us that whole second half until they got their second goal and just was like, yeah, cool, we'll just manage this, we'll take this, and yeah, you could have the ball and try and play through us, and we couldn't. Our wingers were diabolical again. Trossard and Saka were both poor. The only outfield players who I'll give any credit was our defenders, like because they were under the cosh for large sections of that game, and if it wasn't for that diabolical goalkeeping by Kepa, who knows what could have happened. Yeah.
What's your opinion on Kepa starting, by the way?
Like, I'm not all about, like, especially I'm not a sentimental guy. I'm a harsh guy. I'm not harsh. I'm being unfair to myself. I'm a realist. I believe once you get to a final and you have especially when it's a 50-50 final. If it was a team where, I don't know, Scunthorpe that miraculously got to the final, then fair enough. Play your second goalkeeper. But once you get to a final and it is a big team like that's challenging you for trophies, a team you have struggled to beat in the past, play your best team. The outfield players, I thought that was because of Eze, no Odegaard, was inclined to play Havertz, and I thought that was our best team to go forward and try get the win. But the mistake was playing Kepa. We all know Kepa is not a top quality goalkeeper. He is a good backup. I'm hearing rumors that he wants to play first team football. Big man, you're not getting first team football at my club. Like, it's either you enjoy the bench or you leave, because what you did today categorically proves why you will not be getting first team football at my club. But it's a shame we lost today. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I didn't want us to win this trophy. I did want us to win this trophy. I said it at the beginning. I said it since before December. If we win the Carabao Cup and the league, it's been a fantastic season. I'll take it. I'll run with it. I'll celebrate. I'll party. I'll dance. But our main goal, our main objective is the league. If we pick up the FA Cup along the way, brilliant. I'll dance and you lot will hear about it. If we pick up the Champions League along the way, I best believe you'll hear about that one. But yeah, our main objective is the league. So I'm not too disheartened. I'm not going to go and lambast the team too harshly. But today, certain players need to get moved on. and certain players need to step up.
Yeah. Just a quick one from you, Saeed, because I mean, before I go into just a couple more questions with Akeem, do you want to react to the game?
Well, quick question, Akeem. Like, what happened to Eze? How comes he wasn't even in the squad?
I'm still trying to find that out.
Okay,
because I know he picked up an injury against Leverkusen in midweek, and yeah, but I watched his interview. Was it yesterday? It came out, but I think I watched it today. I watched it this morning, and it seemed like with Jamie Redknapp, he seemed like he was all right, and he was gonna start. I was thinking, okay, cool. Like we really miss somebody in that midfield that with the technical ability of an Eze and an Odegaard that could take the ball on a half turn, take the ball in tight confined spaces, take much better care of the ball, because there were times where Vice or Zubimendi won the ball or it dropped to them and they played the pass to a Havertz, to Gyökeres, and they just could not retain possession for the life of them.
Yeah. Even just like running with the ball, like in running power and all sorts of it, like as in someone that's going to carry a threat.
We miss Guile and agility in that midfield.
Yeah, and to be fair, like as in, I know, like as in, anyway, I think like as in second half, he had the opportunity. Arteta had the opportunity to change stuff and like really,
yeah, the stuff should have come earlier.
Yeah, but I think
it was a one-way tie, one-way system. Stuff should have come earlier.
Yeah, the first half, like for me, like as in it was a bit boring in all honesty. Like there was quite a couple of chances in there, a couple of set of pieces where you thought like as in you guys might try and attack City, but it didn't really come to fruition. I think James Trafford actually did really well coming in for his first game for a long time. But their back four did all right to handle your threat as well. Although they didn't have to do much. Like Nunes, for example, I don't think he sweat the whole game. Like against
Trossard gave him no opposite. Gave him no.
Trossard was anonymous in that game.
Kusanov did well as well, like for final ones and whatnot. Obviously, like as in
but he's playing against Victor Anonymous, so
fair enough. But still, like as in he still had to show up. Ake, obviously, like Gahey's been starting a lot of the games, so Ake coming in did really well as well. So I think their back four did all right. Nico Riley got a yellow card in the first half as well as the second half, whenever. I thought like as in Saka should have really tried to go at him as well, but
I don't think it's Kusanov that got a yellow card. I think
was it Kusanov? Okay, yeah.
I don't think it was.
But yeah, like as in their fullbacks weren't really properly tested. Like as in it seemed like they dealt with a lot of your threats. And if you can't go through the middle, then obviously you'll expect your wide men to come and help you out. Rodri was immense for Man City. Like he just he kind of showed what you guys were missing on the day, in the sense of, especially in the second half.
Bernardo, my man of the match. Either one of them two. I know they're going to give it to Nico Riley because he scored the 2 goals, but I thought
it was Shirky. I'll be honest with you. I thought
he was just party tricks, man.
Nah,
he was like a fraud.
He was the best player. I thought them guys were making it tick, but he was the one that was really penetrating the defense. I thought he was the one that was carrying the ball.
It's hard to get the ball off of him as well.
And exactly, and they couldn't get the ball off him. I thought, and he worked hard today. I think the party tricks came at the end after the 2-0. I think before that it went party tricks. I thought he played great. He was my man of the match. I thought he was the best player on the pitch. I'll be honest with you. I thought all 3 of them. I don't think as I said, me and Abid was talking about during the game, and we were basically talking about Zubimendi and Rice being a carbon copy of each other. That a lot was said about Zubimendi, about him being like a deep line playmaker.
He's not.
And we've never really seen any of that ever since
he's
been
not. He's not.
And everything that Rodri was doing. And I was saying, look, this is what you want these guys to do, because what Rodri was doing is he's popping the ball around, he's going to get it back. He's popping it everywhere, and he's going to get it back himself. And you guys weren't, and your boys weren't doing that. Your boys were just sitting there defending the back line, doubling up on players, and he would just pin back for a long period of the game. And I think you are right. A separate central midfielder would have kept it. Would have probably made a change, and once they won that midfield battle, I thought that was pretty much it. And you guys didn't really. We talked about you not Nunes not being tested. The reason why they weren't tested is because they had majority of the ball. If they have majority of the ball, they're not gonna need to defend. And it was maybe like you didn't have much. Huh?
They didn't really, even when they had chances to like run at them, like I don't really think they had it. They really did. And also, like the thing I loved about Rodri's performance, like his pass selection was amazing. Like so, whether it's like the switch, whether it's like short popping in and out, like as in, he just made it. He made it.
I thought Rodri. I mean, the midfield makes it. I thought him, Rodri, and I mean him, Bernardo Silva, and Cherki. Cherki is definitely my man of the match.
Yeah, Cherki. No, I'm being. I
thought he was brilliant.
He was brilliant. He was good. He played very,
especially the goals. I think he played an important part in the 2 goals as well. Like the first one, obviously he was the one across the. He's one. Sometimes I think why he was slightly different. He kept him guessing. They don't know whether he wants to carry the ball or he wants to play it. So he can check in, come back, go in, come back whenever he wants. He was doing whatever he wants on the ball. And with someone like that, you can't really touch him because you put a tackle and you give away a free kick. You put a tackle, especially if he's in the box. And I think he had a lot more license than Rodri and Bernardo. And you can, and what was telling is when he knew what was telling in the game is that had you guys pinned back so much, your forward players were defending so much that before the first goal came, Ake got into the box that it could have shot. Very much. This is the second centre back, and then the goal came from the left back, and the second goal came from left because you guys weren't. There was no threat for them, so they can get more bodies in the box, and which should give them more opportunities to score goals. And that's probably what was the difference from the first half. Like now they realize, you know what, these guys are actually not giving anything else back. They're just going to stay back. We're going to get more body in the box. We're going to take that chance. And if you play the lottery, every now and then you might win. And that's exactly what's happened with them. And
you know, for the second goal, I just like remember seeing a picture of Saka because Saka was like standing with O'Reilly, and obviously it's a mismatch in the air between Saka and O'Reilly, but he just let him go, and I just saw Saka's face just down. Like,
but you know, really, what caused that confusion though is because of Bernardo Silva's run. The amount of runs that going into the box, it's like, who do I pick up now?
Yeah.
Like,
but
Bernardo made the first one, and I'm not really sure who tried to go follow Bernardo. So Saka's mind must think, okay, cool. Oh, someone else picked up Bernardo, but he's forgetting that someone else is still running in behind him. So by the time O'Reilly made that,
I need to see that again.
You watch it. You just see Saka like because he kind of has them like before like on the edge of the box, and then O'Reilly doesn't even he just like as in he makes he goes into position. You can see Saka's face.
You talk about for the first goal or the second goal?
I'm talking about the second goal. I'm talking about number 2. I'm talking about number 2. Yeah.
I think Bernardo made the first run for the second goal, and then I don't know who picked up Bernardo, and then O'Reilly made that run straight after. So I think, but Saka was caught flat-footed, didn't it? Because he didn't see O'Reilly coming in behind him, and even if he did, as you said, Saeed, is a mismatch. I'm not sure whether it had much to do with it because you saw from the first goal with Zubimendi, he couldn't really. He was ahead of O'Reilly before O'Reilly got in front of him. So. I'm not sure whether he would have been able to do much.
Yeah, but the ball bounced nicely in his path. So like because of Kepa's stupidity. So like,
what's your thoughts on Saka's performances since he's got his new contract?
Big man, I've been saying even before he got his new contract, I've been saying he's been poor. He hasn't been performing, and then he signed a contract. I was like, okay, cool. This is an opportunity for you to show us that you are worth that. Listen, I'm not gonna be too critical on Saka because one, that guy, since he's come into the first team, like us Arsenal fans have put him on a pedestal, and the reason we have put him on a pedestal is because he has been a main reason of why we are now able to challenge for these major trophies.
But he deserves to be put on a pedestal, though.
Exactly.
If someone's gonna
he has,
sorry, Scott. I think he deserves to be because I've said it over the many years when there was pipping him and like saying
Sancho.
I think I'm talking about the best player in Arsenal, saying Odegaard's the best player in Arsenal. I kept on saying it's Saka, and I think he's been so consistent for the last 2-3 years that he did it.
4, 5.
Yeah, normally this young players normally have a dip somewhere, but he hasn't. So
this is his dip now.
As long as he comes back next season, and find out, you wouldn't mind him and have a dip in the season that you win the league as well. So
And
So,
also, sorry,
just
Said,
yeah.
real quick. Also, we got to remember he's had 2 major hamstring injuries. He had a major surgery on one on he had 2 big hamstring injury and a major surgery on one of those hamstring to recover from to help him recover from one of those hamstring injuries. So and we rushed him back as well. So I think those are the kind of things that are maybe impacting him, because I see he's lost a bit of his speed. He's not dribbling as freely as he used to, and I think these are the side effects of those injuries. But sorry, go on, Said.
The point I was going to make is it's like, as in, obviously he's come out of form a bit, or he's not hitting the same high standards he has done. It's kind of up to Arteta whether to play him through it or to bring him out of the team, give a bit of a rest, and play. You've got more than enough bigger squad to manage it.
Arteta can't afford to rest him now. There was plenty of opportunities for him to bring him out of the firing line and rest him and allow him to find his form. You could have played him in the reserves for a couple games. You could have played him in the under 23s for a couple games. You could have done all of that and just relied on your squad a lot more earlier in the season. And Arteta didn't do that. Now is not the time to be taking out Saka.
My point is, as in, we've seen it last couple of even not a couple of games, but as in, he hasn't hit the heights in it. So give him a rest, 1-2 game rest, and then let him come back. Or
we can't afford that no more.
Yeah, that time's gone. Yeah, I agree with Akeem. Not this crucial end of the season.
7 games to go in the Premier League.
It's not as if
4 games to go in the FA Cup.
To do wonders.
No.
Yeah,
what I'm saying is he's playing him through these games, and you're getting a 5 out of 10 out of him. If you're investing him,
Saeed, and this is on the manager. He didn't manage Saka properly. This is on the manager. This is a strike against him.
No, I'm saying it's Arteta who had the option to manage him in the best way, and I don't think.
Yeah, and he didn't.
Yeah, so that's my.
I agree with King. He should have done it early. That time's gone. Do you think I'm not going to start my best player now?
Your star man.
When I'm trying to win,
I'm not saying now. I'm saying he's had opportunities to do this.
And he didn't. And he didn't take those opportunities. Yeah. He didn't take those opportunities. That's on the manager. That's him mismanaging.
And I think he did it. It did though. The times where he's taking him off quite early, because he never really used to take him off in the middle of the game.
Broski, there was times where there was a game. When I remember, we were 3-0 up. It was a Carabao Cup. It was earlier this season. We were 3-0 up, and he brought him on.
Yeah,
it was those kind of stupid decisions.
If you have someone like Madueke that's coming on and impacting game the right way, you would say, okay, cool. You know what? My hand has been forced there. I have to play Madueke because you're not performing. Madueke's performing kind of like Eze. When Eze does well, then Odegaard will have to sit on the bench. You have to force the manager's hand. But if the players that are coming on for him is not doing that, then I'll rather just stick it with
this. I have to take it back to the decision to let Nwaneri go out on loan and the decision not to be playing him and giving him minutes earlier in the season. Last season, we saw Nwaneri, when Saka was injured, play on that right-hand side. There were games where he was the difference maker. There were games where he was the man of the match. He chose not to play Nwaneri. And then he chose to loan him out. That's the manager's decision. So we can't do all of this. What if? No. He made those decisions. So those fall on him.
Are you surprised Dalman didn't come on?
No, I'm not surprised that 16-year-old didn't come on, bro. You lot can rely on your 18-year-old. We don't rely on teenagers. No, if you're gonna ask them kind of questions, bro, they expect to get bitten.
When the guy who comes on can't even control a football, I'm just asking a question, innit? Madueke can't even control the ball.
Listen, Madueke we should have signed Semenyo instead of Madueke. Manager's decision.
But in all honesty, if Dalman made a difference against Everton, right? He was a big part of why you.
That's Everton. This is Man City. Two different teams, apples and oranges. In a cup final as well.
And you got to bear in mind against Everton, they had the ball. They weren't getting the ball.
Yeah.
So the ball. Yeah, it's not just because he's come on doesn't necessarily mean Man City's still not going to have the ball with them. Do you know what I mean? So And at this point, Man City are now managing the game. Don't let the young boy come and suffer.
Exactly. And if he had brought on Diamond, I'll be calling for his head tonight. I'm being real, because that would have been because bro, we see. I'm not Arteta's biggest fan. I'm prepared to give him grace. I'm prepared to eat humble pie if he delivers me the league. I'm prepared. I want to eat humble pie, to be honest with you. But it's these decisions, the decision to not rest Saka, the decision bro, certain decisions that that man makes here. Those are the reasons why I'm not his biggest fan. Those are the decisions why at the end of the season I say, if we throw away the league from now, he has to go.
No, the league's done. Don't worry about that.
No, Brody. They win their game and they beat us 3 points. It's not done.
Right, cool. Just one last question before we move on, because we don't want to spend and then I'll round up the Arsenal situation. What would you have done differently? Because obviously with Eze getting injured, you mentioned that it wasn't the right game to bring in Abbott. From what he has at his disposal, what would you have done differently? I don't see much wrong with the lineup that is put out, considering the injuries.
Tom, I agree with you. I wouldn't have done anything different, to be honest with you. That's the starting 11 I would have played. It's just the goalkeeper. I would have changed. I would have played right. I would have told Kepa, my man, I'm sorry, but this is a trophy that the club hasn't won in 30 odd years. 1993 was the last time we won the League Cup. We've been to 4 finals in that time and lost every single one of them. Well, 3 finals. Yeah, 3 finals. Sorry.
I remember
Chelsea, Birmingham, and Man City. So this is the 4th one now. Okay. So we've only won it twice. So, like, I would have. That's the only change I would have made. But everything else, I would have. You had no choice. We had no choice but to play Havertz in a 10.
Okay.
If you're saying like, I think I would have started Calafiori over Nkapie. Like, for me, like Calafiori has been in the games he's played, he's been more consistent and especially defensively than Nkapie.
No, I don't think it's defensively. I think going forward, he offers us more on the ball going forward.
Let's say, and then the other thing I would have said,
but maybe not a better defender.
I would have definitely started Martinelli, because like Martinelli gets back at pace and he's an outlet as well. They're the two that I probably would have
Yeah, I was surprised Martinelli didn't come on earlier, because you guys didn't really have much of a threat on the counter, right? I thought that would have been
but when he did come on, bro, he lost the ball, he kicked it out for a throw in, like broski, like I remember when we was at yours and I was saying I was selling for 40-50 and everybody was cussing me. Broski, I'm willing to take it down to 30-40 now, bro.
No, but I'm even talking about defensively as well, like, because obviously he drops back in, he works hard for the team as well, and all sorts of it. So
but I trust everyone was defending today. I don't think, I'm not sure what he would have done differently defensively than the rest. It's not as if that they were attacking and wouldn't get back. There was camp back. Everyone was defending. So it wasn't as if they're trying to run back from attacking. They were all defended for the whole team.
That would have been the team I started with, man. That's the team I would have started with. Me personally. No Eze, no Odegaard, no Wanyeri because he's in France. That is the team I would have started with. No Marino because he's injured. That is the team I would have started with.
Yeah. Look, let's just quickly round up Arsenal. Like, I think I saw something today, which was an Arsenal fan, which I think is testament to how far you guys have come, and not overreacting to obviously the final. Obviously, I don't really give a damn you losing the final or not, but as a neutral, obviously I want to be trying to be fair, but you come a long way, because usually when you lose this type of game at this period of season, that is usually your whole season coming down to an end, or like usually games like this end your season at this point or this time of the year. So the way you got to look at it is there's still a lot more to play for. You're still more than
100%
playing the Champions League. The league is basically in your hands. It's up to you to throw that away, which I don't think it will personally for myself. And you still got the FA Cup. So look, you lost the League Cup. It is what it is. You just move on, man. So
exactly. Like we still got 3 competitions we're in. I still believe we can win 2 of those 3 competitions. So yeah, this is not the end of the world. I would have liked us to win this because then that would have relieved a lot of pressure going into the final weeks and months of the season. But it is what it is, man. We'll take this on the chin and we'll move on.
And I think one thing you have shown anyway, with when you have lost key games like this, you've always found a way to bounce back. Whether you've come back bouncing back with a good performance or just getting a good result, you've done it. So I think that's probably what's important next. You got FA Cup, which you probably should win, and then you got Bournemouth at home, and I think that's probably the key game you want to win before you then play Man City away from home. So
exactly.
Let me move on, man. Don't worry, man. Well done, City. Well done, Jerky. Well done with the kick-ups. which I thought was disrespectful. I'm glad
Ben clamped him. Blood.
I'm glad getting blamed.
Benny Blanc on my guy.
Don't get me wrong. I don't mind play being expressive, but I just thought that should have been done at like the last minute, 2 or 3 minutes or so. Don't be doing it 60-something minute when there's a lot of game to play. I thought that was
I love it, man. He got Ben White a yellow card straight away, man. Let's go, man.
Yeah, I'm with you, Saeed. I'm with you.
All right, cool. Look, let's go back into the Premier League. Obviously, Carabao Cup was this weekend. Arsenal didn't play, City didn't play, but the rest of us surely did. And there's only one place to start.
Top four race?
Top four race. We had Chelsea playing yesterday. Let me just paint a scenario for you guys. Yesterday's game. I obviously watched the United game on Friday. Then I watched the Liverpool game. Then obviously Fulham played, and at that point I was quite tired. So when I started watching the Chelsea game, I just fell asleep. Then my son said, "It's 3-0." I was like, 3-0? Like, what do you mean 3-0? They're 3-0 to Everton. It's like, what? 3-0 to Everton. So I didn't even watch the game because I fell asleep.
I watched it.
How Everton, don't get me wrong, like, yeah, Everton was a difficult team to beat. We struggled when we went up there. We managed to get a 1-0 win. I think Arsenal, you did the same, right? You still managed to get a 1-0 win. But off the back of the last couple of weeks where you've had disappointing results, how are you feeling about that, Abid?
Yeah, I'm not someone who likes to swear, but the only way to describe that game is a 4-letter word, and it rhymes with hit, basically. That's the only way I can describe it, to be honest. No, I can't. That game hurt me, honestly. That game really hurt me. And it's one of the games where it just, previous games before when we've lost, you can kind of see maybe like we're putting up a fight, maybe we're unlucky at this point, but this one was just absolute utter dross, utter dross. The players weren't working hard. Players were making very, very silly mistakes. Everton made it so easy to get through us. And when we had the ball, we literally had no idea what we were doing. Just basically recycling the ball. No creativity, no nothing. The players weren't linking up, no chemistry. And it was a tough watch. I'm not gonna lie, it was a very, very tough watch. It's been a tough few weeks. And I remember what was it? I think when we drew to, was it Burnley or Leeds, and we kind of gave away the points. I remember on this podcast, I think it was Tommy, you said it's okay, like he's unlucky, but now it's just how do you react? Like once you have a few bad results, can you turn it around? Can you stop the rot? And unfortunately, like, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying Rosinia is completely blame free, but it's a similar pattern that we saw on the Maresca as well. It's like as soon as 1-2 games don't go your way, why does it feel like things just have to crumble and snowball in the other direction? That's what it just feels like. It's like things just snowballing in the worst direction. You've lost in a horrific way to PSG, so at least show some fight, show some desire in their Premier League. Try and make up for it. And it's like it goes the complete opposite way. It's like it's almost like the players just think, "Our season's done now. Don't really care anymore," and it's poor. It almost gives the impression that it's almost like when I was watching that match, it just felt one of those games where the players aren't even playing for the manager anymore. Like it was just bad. Like, it just genuinely seemed like they didn't care. Usually I look forward to at least watching the manager press conferences after, but I didn't even want to see Rafinha's face. I didn't want to see anyone's faces. Like the thumbnail came up on YouTube, I was thinking like, get this leak off my YouTube screen. I don't want to hear what he's got to say. Like I've heard enough, and it's just bad. And obviously, like what a lot of people have heard, it's the blame from the fans does truly go to the board members. Like I think they've just done a terrible job ever since. I think first things first, I think when you look at your turnover of players, you can tell whether someone's doing a good job recruiting or not. When you're basically buying players and selling them the next season, clearly it's not a good sign, right? And I feel like when we got Maresca in, I feel like we just struck gold, to be honest, because I think even though we had a lot of talented players, and I do think they're good at spotting talent, like even Nico O'Reilly, he scored 2 goals today. Chelsea actually scouted him before he even broke into the Man City first team. So we're good at scouting players, but the problem is that there's no strategy behind it. We're just buying players for the sake of buying talented players. You're not buying players for what does my team need? Where is the balance in the team? What holes do we need to plug? We're just spamming, signing random players that we think have got talent. And half of the time, some of the players that we signed aren't even better than the players we have. Like no one can tell me that Jamie Gittins is better than Tyreek George, but obviously because of politics, he's probably ahead of George in the pecking order. And I'm just thinking, okay, you struck gold with Maresca, right? He's turned your crap storm into something decent. He's given structure, right? He's giving you top 4. He's giving you a Carabao Cup. And how do you back him? You go and sign someone who should be main event in WrestleMania, and you make him your backup striker. Like it doesn't make sense. Out of all this, you go sign My United scraps and allow them to go fund Cunha. Like it doesn't make any sense. Like what are we doing here? You don't address all Maresca asked for this season. All he asked for was a proper centre back, and you can see what's the weakest part of our team. It's a centre back, and even Rafinha coming in, you can see briefings. He's saying he wants a centre back as well. So I think it starts at the top, and it just starts to trickle down. And don't get me wrong, like I said, Rafinha isn't perfect. He's not. I don't think he's done the worst job, but he's not done the best job at the same time. But I think if you want to solve the core problem, it definitely has to go above. It definitely starts with the owners, and yeah, it's sickening, to be honest. And it feels like now it's got to the point, especially with Chelsea. I feel like the players, they want to play when there's momentum. They want to play when things are up, but when it's down, I don't think we don't show good character. You've lost against PSG, show some fight. But now it just feels like the players are just checked out. Oh, we lost this game. We've lost 3-4 games in a row. Woe is me. Give up now. Oh, Everton are playing. Everton are kind of hard. I'm not up for the fight. And I was just giving up. And I was just crumbling. Even though there's still so much of the season to play. Like, Liverpool lost. Man United drew. And you're going to lose 3-0 to Everton. Like, what does this show? And to me personally, it just feels like the players are checked out. So if the players are checked out, why should I be emotionally invested? And I think that's why that match really hurt me. I think that was the match where I felt like I was just emotionally checked out for the rest of the season. And now you're telling me that I have to somehow come back and watch Man City face Chelsea after the international break. Like, are you crazy? And then after that, we're gonna have to go face flipping Man United who are on form. Like as if the embarrassment doesn't get enough. Well,
last week you did say you weren't worried about these games.
You did say that. You had your chest out. You had your chest out for PSG.
Yeah.
And then
you said you weren't worried about this game. Just quite last week.
But I wasn't worried. But you told me, you even said it yourself, when your son woke you up and he said 3-0, even you couldn't believe it.
Yeah, no, but you know what? Join the club, man. When you check out, like you watch this game in like different like lens. Like you're watching it in a different lens, not like an emotional one, and you can criticize players when you need to. You don't have to like, because sometimes you tend to sugarcoat things when you're emotionally attached. You're backing players when you shouldn't be backing players, backing the ball range. And it's so funny because I've checked out for United for a while ago after the sacked Amarin, and I think I've been enjoying the season even better because when we win, we win. If we don't lose, I mean, if we lose, I'm not overreacting over the loss. But obviously, don't get me wrong, I'm not watching United for us to lose games. I'm still watching it, hoping that we win games. But it doesn't. Nothing hurts more when you're emotionally attached to these games, and you set a level of expectation, and you just see the players just doing complete rubbish. There's nothing worse than that, because you don't mind when sometimes if you narrowly lose games or you see the effort from the players, but when it all comes crumbling down and these players don't put in enough effort and you're getting demolished by Everton, no disrespect to Everton, but what's left really?
I don't think the players were senior either. I can't lie. Like,
yeah,
it doesn't look like they're playing for it. I used to think I thought when he first came in, it did look like he was kind of winning the players over, but I can't lie. Like, the players not respecting. Like, you can't watch that match and see that those are players playing with fear of the manager. Like, there's no way. Like, when he came in, everyone was making jokes about it. I was like, calm. Like, you can't make jokes about this guy's like character, whatever. But now that I'm watching the players, I think even the players think the manager's unique as well. Like, they're not respecting him anymore. Like, I
asked you lot this last week. Like, do you think this guy is naive? Do you think he could better manage the team from the sidelines better? Like I said about the PSG game when you lot went away and before your what's his name, Jorgensen made that mistake, you lot just kept trying to play out of the back against that formidable press. And I asked you lot, and boy,
I don't really think that. Like, and I was saying this to Abib, I don't mind it. Like, for me, I respect managers more if they rather do things their own way and then get sacked than to like try and adapt and still get sacked. And I think what it is with the players is like what Abib. Just going back to what Abib said is, in order to win this players over, you have to get some sort of result, and that's that's probably how Maresca was able to convince them and able to win them over, because every time he sets them out, they'll probably realize we're always in the game, we're capable of beating whatever team that is in front of us with whatever like tactic or whatever information that's been provided by Maresca. Even if we lose the game, we've narrowly lost the game. But then when it comes to a new manager where he's now trying to obviously enforce his own little idea, because I don't think he's changed much, because I don't think he changed. There's massive difference from what they were already doing in Maresca to him now, because I don't, correct me if I'm wrong, but you might see a lot more, you might see a huge difference, but from when I watch it, I don't see there's a huge difference to what he's doing, because it still does play the same formation, same players play in the same areas. I don't think it's changed much, but it's the results really. When you're not getting the results, that it's hard for players to buy in, and then they start looking at you sideways.
But the reason why I asked that, and the reason why I say that is because like this is my thing with Ange when you said you would take Ange at your club, and I said I could never have him at my club, because not every game is the same. Like, not every you could play Man City this weekend and then play them again next weekend, and those two games will be completely different. Now, I want to see my manager be able to adapt in the game. I don't see that from Rosinha.
If you have the best,
I don't see that from Ange.
The reason why I said
I could never have these guys as my manager.
The reason why I said I'll take Ange at my club is Spurs are not providing with the best players.
Yeah, but Tom, he's not adapting in game. That's my whole point.
No, but then what does he want to? Bro, that's what I'm saying. That's how he wants to play. But I get what you're saying.
There you go, and then you're not a top manager.
Yeah, no, but then
because I see Luis Enrique do it. I see Pep do it. We saw Fergie do it.
Fair enough. I get what you. Okay, you got it there. But I'm saying that what if you're managing a top team, it won't really matter because all you need to do is if you're playing the same way and you've got top players, like same way. How many times a Pep needs to adapt every once in a blue moon? Because he did adapt though. He did admit that the players came to him and he adapted and he won the Carabao Cup because the players the one that came to him and said, now we want to play a bit more defensive because going forward we haven't been able to get the goals because there's a lot of injuries, blah blah blah. So reluctantly he did do it, and it won the Carabao Cup. I mean Europa League. Sorry. What I'm saying is, if he's managing a big team and you have the best players, more than often, you won't need to adapt because you have to enforce the way you play against these other teams.
No, I'm not saying change your philosophy, change your style. I'm saying in game, no two games are the same. So you can see how a game is changing, how a game is panning out. What are you doing as a manager to affect the game? I never see that I don't see that with Rafinha. I never saw that with Ange. And that is my whole point. I'm asking, is he naive to carry on doing that, knowing who's on the pitch, knowing the players you have on the pitch?
For me personally, I haven't had enough sample size for me to say, oh, I haven't seen him change much, because I haven't paid attention to it. So I'm not going to start making judgment of that, because a lot of people just say things for saying. So, for example, when Amarin was there, people were saying it wasn't adapting, but that's a lie because it weren't making in-game adjustments, but it just weren't working. Like I've seen that, so I'm saying,
he was making the wrong decisions.
Wrong decision. But I haven't seen enough sample size, or I haven't watched Maresca in detail enough for me to say, oh, okay, cool, yeah, it hasn't adjusted here, it hasn't done this here. I haven't seen enough of that, because even against you guys in the Carabao Cup, he did make an adjustment where he started off with 5 at the back, is it not? It didn't work, but it did do something. He did. That's not him being naive. That's not him going toe to toe with Arsenal. That's him saying, "I want to stay in the game."
They needed 2 goals and they played defensive.
And then he brought his players on. That didn't work. So that I can use that as an example, but I haven't watched it in depth enough for me to say, "Oh, he is not making." And I think he's been used as a scapegoat because I don't think he's ready for this level.
This level, yeah.
And I don't think he's ready for this level. All he can do is try and obviously implement the way he plays or whatever philosophy he has. But we're gonna take a look at him, and he's gonna get the front of the criticism because yes, he's the manager.
Did you hear him say, "Look, I'm still learning"? Like, and just to your point, that's what he said after the game, innit? But
is that what he said? Okay,
that's what he said. I'm still learning.
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah,
I think we're focused on the wrong thing. Like, I saw Abby smiling. Yeah, this is Chelsea's segment. Let's ask Abby more questions. I've got questions for you, Abby. Right? Like, so to be fair, like, obviously, I feel like the same with these boys. I don't think he's ready, and he's going to be the face of all of this right now. But in terms of some decisions, like you said, that like he's in the board and all sorts. But in terms of some decisions, like I've seen Cole Palmer play his best games as a number 10, right? And he was playing on the right yesterday, right? He played on the right yesterday, innit? And you've still got Esteval, you've still got like Garnacho, you've still got wingers on the bench, right? So what do you think to that decision? Not playing him as a number 10, like he played Enzo as number 10, innit? And then Navia. What do you think to that decision?
I think I understand it, because I think what he's trying to do is he's just trying to find balance in the team. So the thing is with Enzo, he's a good player, but he gets bypassed quite easily defensively. So if you have, let's say, just Caicedo and Enzo, and then Palmer in a 10, and then you have your 2 wingers, I think it makes it pretty easy. Yeah, exactly. The midfield's a lot more open. Obviously, in the second half, he changed it. He brought on Garnacho. What do you do?
Garnacho came on.
He brought on Garnacho. So it was Garnacho and Neto in the wings, and then Palmer in the 10, because obviously we're chasing the game a little bit more. And then I think he put Caicedo right back, and he had Lavia and Enzo in the midfield. And to be fair, Esteval was he's just coming back from injury, so he couldn't really start. But I mean, I get what you mean though, because if you are going to secure your midfield and have those extra players, then you want to at least hope you're not conceding 2 to 3 goals, right? And now it's to the point where defensively we're terrible, and attacking wise we have like 0 threat as well. So it's like nothing. I mean, there's 2 ways to win a football game: score goals and not concede goals. So we're not doing either of them. So it's not really helping, is it? So I can understand your point in it. Like that's probably why he's doing it, but broski, do something else because what you're doing is not working.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think what's happening now is that on both ends of the pitch, you're struggling. It's all right struggling going forward, but if your defense can obviously bail you out games, it helps. But when you're struggling defensively and it's a massive problem because one thing I accepted us going into the season because a lot of people kept on saying, "Oh, we needed to get a midfielder, we needed to get a defender, like we got all these attackers." It's a process, right? For me, I was willing to accept that games will end up 4-4, 5-4, 3-2. I'm willing to accept that and build on that because what we struggled with over the past few seasons is scoring goals.
Yeah.
I'd rather score goals and then deal with the rest later because we still got Bruno to obviously create chances for us. So, and you're just in a moment, and I don't think this is something that's happened to you all season. I think the defensive issues obviously.
I definitely this is last season.
Yeah, because the defensive issue is consistent, but I think what's obviously now becoming a problem is that offensively you're not what you usually are, really. You get what I mean? You're not creating as much chance, and that could go back to what Saeed is saying. Maybe moving Cole Palmer away from like the middle of the park to the right wing might be a problem because he's a better creator or provider than Enzo. Enzo, I see Enzo more like off the ball player. You know what I mean? So I think that is the issue. So you have played with all three of them. Whether or not he wants to continue that, who knows? And when João Pedro is obviously not scoring, you don't really have someone else to bring off the bench. I just said, what's his name? The
wrestler.
The wrestler hasn't been the best. And he's still like, I'm not ruling him totally out because maybe next season, who knows, if he still gets the opportunity, if you haven't sold him next season, who knows, he gets another opportunity. But yeah, I think you're just struggling. You're struggling all round. And then, like I said, with the quality players you're bringing off the bench, if Neto's struggling, then Nacho's not coming on to do anything. He's not coming on to impact the game.
Yeah.
I think Esteban is one that can obviously potentially come off the bench and influence the game. But obviously,
saw a little cameo of him yesterday. Still,
he's slightly different from the rest. I think he can affect the game, whereas the rest are not really. Yeah, they're not really much. Really, I haven't done much.
I wait for Garnacho to start complaining about starting on the bench at Chelsea.
Yeah,
let's
I would love to see that. I would love to see that.
Go ahead.
No, go on. I want to ask another question, but if it,
I want to ask Habib a question. Just quickly, what was your thoughts on the first goal? The Everton scored. The defending for that one.
Well, I can't like they scored so many. Oh. They scored so many goals.
The very first one.
It was.
The defending for the very first goal.
Garner assist, right? That's the Garner assist one, isn't it? The first one.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro, it was shocking. Again, it's just individual players. Like you're not pressing Garner, and you're not putting pressure on the ball on him, and then the defending from Fofana is terrible as well. Like it's
big man. If Moresca did, if my Moresca did that, I want his head. Because the ball was there to be won.
Yeah. The
ball was there to be cleared. And that's your main centre back not doing that. Leaving it for the goalkeeper. That was shocking.
I think the more shocking goal was the second goal, actually. Like, as in the way that two of their players got beaten by Idris Gueye. And like he advanced with the ball, but you got two players converging on him. That goal for me is
but the keeper should have done better. But we all know what Sanchez. Never put him in any starting 11 in any combined 11 again. Never. I'll call a psychiatric ward for you if you do that.
But that was gonna be my question, yeah. But like, as in for me, like we already know who Sanchez is. Just like for example, last season.
Yeah. So forget that.
Was, if you get what I'm saying,
Yeah.
So like. The thing I have more of a problem with that goal, is Fofana not covering the shot, like as in closing the angle so that he only goes near post. Because if he's going near post, then if Sanchez gets beat, then that's his own problem. Like that's literally Sanchez's fault. But Fofana still kind of left it open for him to kind of shoot. And after Dembele turned them inside out at PSG,
he's not recovered, has he?
It don't seem like he's still sliding somewhere in it. But I think obviously like people might just look at Sanchez and say, "Yeah, it was his mistake." But what do you think of the second goal? Like, would you blame Sanchez? Would you just blame?
It's clearly Sanchez's fault, but Habib, go on.
Yeah, no, it's clearly Sanchez's. He should have made the save, but for me, we're just too easy to play against, and that's just what I don't like. It's just too easy for these teams to get shots, to get chances on our goal, and I just don't understand why it's so easy for them to get shots and chances on our goal, and we're not getting shots and chances on their goal. And like, this is why I say Rafinha's not completely fault free, because Sanchez did have his bozo moments, but I feel like a lot of the players were playing a lot better earlier on in the season. Like, you wasn't seeing these mistakes from Fofana, like in January, February. You wasn't seeing these mistakes from Sanchez earlier on in the season. And I think it's one of them ones where a few games have not gone our way, and instead of being able to have the personality to motivate the players and get them going again, kind of like Arsenal, right? When you guys had your blip against Wolves, it was just a blip, and Arteta was able to motivate them to make sure it's only a blip and it didn't continue. But with us, it's like whenever there's a blip, it just gets worse and worse and worse, and it progressively goes from just a one-off bad performance from like just a mistake to a second bad performance with another mistake to no, now it's not just a mistake. Now we're just genuinely playing bad. Like, it's almost like some bacteria gets into the team, and then it just starts. It's like a loss of bacteria in the team, and then it just spreads and gets worse and worse. And then more and more players are playing badly, and the performances are going worse. And I feel like, even though it's not all Rafinha's fault, like I don't know, you need to do something in it to inspire the players, because clearly the players aren't being inspired by you. Clearly the players aren't running for you. They're not closing down players for you. They're not playing with confidence anymore. So the manager needs to, I don't know, whereas he speaks a lot of good words, so he needs to find the right words to try and motivate these guys.
I think he needs to stop speaking. All of that respect the ball nonsense. He needs to stop speaking.
He needs to stop. But I mean, they're asking questions. It's a shame, because obviously, like, people, the press are asking questions, right? So what's he gonna do? But
not saying that.
The prime example is Man United, right? Amorim came in and he talked a lot. He talked a big game. He talked a lot.
He talked himself about a job.
The performances weren't going his way. Carrick, he doesn't say much. Like, I'll be honest, I haven't heard a single quote from a press conference from Carrick. Like, I'm thinking there's even new press conferences. Like, I haven't heard anything from his press conferences. But
no soundbite.
He didn't like them as a player, so I just think he don't like the media at all. So he's just trying to keep it short and sweet.
But sometimes that's the way to go, because let the performance on the pitch do the talking. Don't attract more noise than needed, right? And that's probably what he's doing well.
The last thing that I want to say is earlier in the season we were talking about the two best midfielders in the Premier League being Rice and Caicedo, and both of them ended up at fullback. Both of them ended up losing the game.
Wait! Stop that!
Stop that! To beat them with it. That's just their versatility, isn't it?
I'm just saying. I just find it funny that, like, as in, when I saw Rice go fullback today, I was like,
We're chasing the game. We were chasing the game, and Ben White has he's come back from injury, a yellow card. We don't have another right back, and we don't want to take Rice off the pitch, innit? You're gonna keep one of your best players. You're gonna keep your best players on the pitch especially when you're down and chasing the game.
Oh, talking about that, like, as in Jai's the third goal, like, as in again, like, as in, But Caicedo he's like, yeah, come inside, go in. Just, like, no, come on, man.
Right.
Like,
that's what I'm worried. The manager's already lost the dressing room, and the reason why I say this is because you can say arguably, okay, teams have scored a lot of screamers against us, but I'm a Chelsea fan. I've been a Chelsea fan for a long time, and I can see when I've noticed patterns when the players stop playing for a manager. I've seen games where we're losing to like teams like Southampton, and players like Graziano Pella are scoring wonder goals. Like,
Yeah.
who's
Yeah.
Graziano Pella? Why is he scoring
Yeah.
a wonder goal against me? And it's like,
Yeah.
it happens more and
What has he
more.
done since?
It starts to happen more and more often, and when it starts happening and it keeps happening, it's a downturn, and it's the signs that the players aren't playing. Like, but how many people score wonder goals against Arsenal? They don't get the opportunity to do that, right? Because you're defensively sound in it, so it's not a good sign.
That was Donny did.
Especially when your top players as
but
well.
when it does happen, it happens.
Especially when your top players are making these. It's not like any guys are making it. Now it's Caicedo. Now it's Fofana as well. So yeah, something tells me that these guys aren't rating the manager anymore.
Cool. Look, obviously your next round of games is not easy. You was quite confident last week. How are you feeling now? Hopefully you get a bit of a break. You get international break. So how you feeling?
If I told you I've had any feeling, it's pure hope. There's no logic behind it. I'll be honest with you. There's nothing. There's no historical data that's telling me, oh, we're going to beat Man City. Like, we're on a downward decline. Yes, there is an international break. Some
before the league comes back, is FA Cup, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, is it? Okay, cool. I mean, okay, that should, we got Port Vale as well, so that hopefully could be a confidence breaker. But
yeah,
in theory, I think the international break has come at a good time for us. I think we need after you lose 4 games in a row, you need a break, man. I feel like the players just need to hear someone else's voice, and hopefully, Rosinha can get his stuff together, come up with a good plan, and hopefully when things come back, maybe we'll see another side to Chelsea. But that's more hope rather than expectation, if I'm being honest. It's just hope.
Fair. All right, look, let's move on. We're not going to spend much on Liverpool. Just touch on Liverpool. They obviously lost yesterday as well against Brighton. They lost Ekitike earlier on in the game. They didn't have a striker. How long? Well, now obviously they're still in a good position. They're still 5th, which is should still be enough for Champions League position. Chelsea are behind them in 6th, but I think what's now happened with Everton winning, Brentford, they're not too far off you two now. Do you think one of you guys might drop out for the likes of Everton or Fulham?
The only reason why I think maybe not is because I'm not sure if those teams would have the consistency to take advantage of us.
You guys have the consistency.
No, that's what I'm going to say. I don't think they have the consistency to take advantage of our bad form, is what I was going to say. So us, Liverpool, probably even Villa, we're going to keep on dropping points. I just don't know if Everton and Fulham and them guys are going to win often enough to overtake us, in my opinion.
Okay. Yeah. No, look, I think you're right. I think for Chelsea anyway, with you being going out of the Champions League, you got limited games. Well, Liverpool needs to worry about that. Maybe you can help, obviously. And don't get me wrong, and I still don't. We'll go into United, and I still don't think. I don't know what it is. I'm just not confident enough in our team. I don't think we're.
Nah, you're getting top 4. Don't worry.
Definitely getting top 4.
Definitely getting top 4.
I'll wait until after we played you and Liverpool before I made that judgment. For the fact that we still need to play you two, we can easily use those 2 games, and where does that put us? So I'm not. We'll see in it, but I know you're trying to play it down now. When it comes to it, anyhow you beat us, the noise will, the volume, the bass will start to increase in your voice. But look, as I said, I'm just being realistic, bro. I'm not saying we're not. The last 2 performances has been a lot more improved compared to what I've seen previously. I think we played really well against Villa, even against Bournemouth. I thought we played really well. So that does give promising sign, but that consistency doesn't last with a lot of the teams apart from Arsenal in the league. Really, even Arsenal just scrape wins, and not scrape wins, but you just win. I don't think your performances scream, and if doesn't really say much. I don't think.
I think it's the whole league in general, my guy.
Yeah,
Like I
it's
said
the whole league
before.
in general. So I'm not here starting to think that we're clear and dry. Yeah, I think what's going to help us is that the other teams are not great. So the other teams are capable of dropping points. But at the same time, you're still Liverpool and Chelsea. You can still end up putting 3-4 runs together. Who knows? You're more than capable of doing that. The current form doesn't say that, but it doesn't take away that it's possible, in it. So and you just never know. I won't put it past Brentford or Everton to pull off a shocker especially if you guys are not winning games and you're both currently struggling to win games at the moment. So you just never know. But I don't think you both drop out. I still think it will be one of the 5 teams that's currently competing. Us, Chelsea, Liverpool, and Villa. And obviously Villa's victory today has put them 4 points clear of Liverpool, and was it 5 points clear of you? So that helps them out a bit. But we'll see how that gets on in regards to the top 4 race. But let's just go into United's game on Friday. What we thought at a time that we've got the draw. I can't lie, I was devastated because I thought it was an opportunity to win, and not knowing what was going to happen over the weekend. Now that we've gone through the weekends, I think the weekend couldn't have gone in any better for us. The only way it could have gone better is if Villa didn't win. But Liverpool losing, Chelsea losing, I think that helps us out. So we're now 6 points ahead of Liverpool, 7 ahead of Chelsea. So I think it puts us in a good position going into your game, and we just need to beat Leeds next week before we play you. But just the Bournemouth game. Si, what's your thoughts on the game overall?
Because in the first half, we had a lot of openings, or a few openings that I think we should have capitalized on. There was a couple of Ahmed chances. I think the first one, Ahmed shot and Casemiro had a chance to put it away, but obviously that didn't happen. And then Ahmed had a shot that got saved. Blocked as well by one of their players. I thought we were better. Bournemouth didn't have much apart from corners and whatnot. There weren't much threat. So I thought that we really should have scored in the first half. And I'm waiting for a kind of performance that we have. We're just 1-0, 2-0, and then we go on to win the game comfortably, 3-0, whatever. But we don't really have those kind of performances in the locker that I can remember. So when it goes in 0-0 first half, it's still kind of just wanting us to get the goal and to see it off. But also we always have better second halves than first halves, especially recently. Second half, Cunha, he's starting to cook in the sense of his movement is just crazy. He's not the fastest, he's not the strongest, but his movement helps him out a lot. He was cooking at Jimenez quite a bit in the first half, and Jimenez was trying to stop him outside the box. So I thought it was really weird that Jimenez gave away the pen, especially holding on to him more than long enough in the pen and in the penalty box. So and obviously he didn't really complain about it. He knew it was a pen. Bruno steps up, and at first I was kind of shocked, but then I remember who was in the goal, Petrovic, whatever his name is. Expected him to score, and he did. Again, I was expecting us to go. I wanted us to see us get the second goal and try and manage the game, and I feel like we were in a good place to do that. Especially with the penalty appeal that we had, that Ahmed had for the before Bournemouth scored. To me, it's a clear penalty. It's not even. It shouldn't even be a debate. It's a clear pen, and the referee he's got a great view of it as well, so he's watching it. But I feel he's not giving it, expecting VAR to make a call on it, because it's he doesn't want to give it, but he feels like if it's a clear pen, VAR will call for it. And I do feel if they don't go away and score straight away, then they'll probably give the pen. But as soon as as soon as they score, like as in they don't want to overrule the goal. So it's like, yeah, like unless it's clear and obvious, we're not gonna overturn the penalty decision. But it's clear and obvious. Like Ahmad changed his direction, and the guy's got two hands on him, pushing him, and kind of dragging him down as well. So yeah, for me it was a clear pen. It just goes to show the nature of the league, where like his encounters and whatnot can be devastating, and that's what Bournemouth can do. Actually, they've been doing that recently. It was a good goal. Their goal was a good goal. Just passed right into the bottom hand corner, and I don't feel like we did enough to get out to their player. But also, yeah, I feel like as in they kind of had the penalty appeal in their minds as well, which they shouldn't have. Loved the response from the team to try and get 2-1 up. So great corner, great goal by Maguire. And at that point, I was just hoping that they could just see it through. Like second time we're going in front of the game, just see it through, because like Bournemouth were kind of knocking on the door, but they weren't really kind of giving us a good game. The main thing they were doing is running though, like as they always do against us. And I feel that's the only part of the game we couldn't cope with is their runs on the ball, off the ball. But apart from that, yeah, all the aspects of the game I think we could cope with. Then it was the Scott guy like crashed the ball against the crossbar, and then I thought, okay, like we just need to get out of this place with a win now, like just manage the game and whatnot. They started bopping the ball about a bit, and it does show like it's in their goal, their penalty, which is a penalty. Maguire got two hands on him and takes him down. His red card as well at that kind of point as well. My thing with the ref is like, he's given that as a pen, which is fair enough, but like the only difference between that and Ahmad's appeal is Ahmad's not going towards goal, whereas Evan Nelson is, right? And but same action, same everything else, and it was good for Krupi to step up for him actually, because I do like Krupi to get the goal, and obviously we got the red card, so we were trying to bang on the door, but I didn't ever feel like we would get a goal from it, and I just wanted to make sure that we, I was just kind of hoping that we didn't concede, which we didn't. Sorry, so it was good in that respect. When you have like 10 minutes against a Bournemouth team that can outrun you to play with 10 men, it was good for us to come up with a point. Yeah, you sort of see it for what it is at that point. But yeah, like as in, it was very disappointing with the referee decision, because like if he was in a bad position, it makes more sense. But he can see it clearly, and then he delays, and then he kind of waves off. But I feel like he's doing it just to let VR intervene, and VR look at it, and they just want to overturn it because of Bournemouth scoring a goal. I feel like if Bournemouth didn't score a goal, they might have been more inclined to overturn it and say it's a pen. There's not many more ways you can look at it and say it's not a pen, but yeah. But at the end of the day, we still had the opportunity. Like we went 2-1 up, we still had the opportunity to win the game, and you said that like as in it's still a good point for us, which is given the point that everyone has dropped points, but we need as many points on the board because we still got difficult games to play. We still got games that will be tricky to play. So I just want us to register as many points on the board as possible and to kind of solidify top four. I say top four, but it's top five. So as long as we get top five, I kind of, it doesn't really matter where we finish third, where we finish fifth, as long as we get Champions League, as long as we get the benefits of being in the Champions League. Yeah, so that's how I saw the game.
Cool. Just there's not much to talk about in regards to the game itself, because I personally thought we were the better team, right until like the red card, especially in the first half. But in terms of like the penalty decision, what was you guys' thoughts, Hakeem and Abid?
Yeah.
So I was going to say, I agree with Saeed. I think it's one of them ones where it's either, you said there wasn't much difference between the two, right? So it's either both of them are penalties or none of them are penalties.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I agree.
Like if you give one team that kind of penalty, and then it goes, and then the next team goes to the other end, and the exact same thing, similar happens, you've got to give it as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought, yeah. And I swear, But I had to watch the highlights of the second half because I was watching the first half, and I thought Man United played decent in the first half. Created a couple of openings. I fell asleep because Friday was a long day, so I fell asleep before even the second half started. Just conked out, just couldn't hold it anymore, and so I watched the highlights of the second half, and what Maguire, bro.
He could have given him a pen as well, like in the first half, like when he pushed Evan Nelson. But the only thing
that was a pen.
Yeah,
that was a pen. But
yeah,
what is it with players getting his contracts and they stop performing
and doing madnesses?
You know what it is, yeah? I think you're right. I think he could have given a one away in the first half as well. But this is the issue with the refs, isn't it? Because it's the inconsistency. 1 minute you're allowing them like physical contact to grab each other, and another minute you're not. It's like, which one is it? And Maguire, he was just, there's always a thin line, and he's always on the edge of that. And that's his problem. He's always on the edge of the thin line because he was being far too aggressive in the first half with Evan Nielsen. And yeah, like I can't even argue like their red card. The penalty is a penalty and it's a red card.
Yeah.
It's just the fact that Ahmad's one should have been a pen. Like,
yeah,
shouldn't have waited. The ref should have given it. In his mind, there's probably two things in his mind to say. So one is that he's probably waiting for VAR to back him up, which is poor. And secondly, he's probably hesitant because he's given one already and he doesn't want to give this one. And I thought this one was probably more of a penalty.
More of a penalty than the first one. Yeah, so, I agree.
Yeah. And it was right in front of him. It was right in front of it.
Yeah, the referee bottled it.
Yeah, absolutely, he bottled it. Like that. Look, sometimes these things goes around and roundabouts, isn't it? But it was poor from the ref, and I thought considering that we played so well, I thought we deserved the win. And Bournemouth is a good team, and for us to go away from home and control the play for a large period of time, and as you said, Said alluded to like Cunha obviously having Jimenez on the back and he's in his pocket for majority of like the game, and then getting him on the yellow card. So it was hard for Jimenez to continue to press him, and he had to end up giving him space. So he had a lot of like he's done really well since he's been playing that right wing, and he's probably been our better attacking players out of the lot. We need a bit more from Ahmad and Mbemo. They've slowed down of recent, mainly Ahmad really and Mbemo as well, to be fair. But we need a bit more from them. So we got the next game at home against Leeds. So hopefully we can bounce back. I think that is an important win. We need that win because I would love to go to that Chelsea game still being 7 points ahead of them. And with games running out, we need to try and capitalize. I think we still need a minimum at least 4 wins, and I feel we can get that from somewhere. I think we've got a few teams at home that we can get those points from. We got Brentford at home that we can get points from. We got Forest at home, we got get points from. We got Leeds at home, we can get points from. So those 3 really, if you can get those 3 wins at home, without playing Chelsea and Liverpool, maybe getting something out of those games as well, that's important. So if you can do well in those games, then we'll be in a great position.
The thing about the Leeds game though, is Maguire's not going to be playing. Like obviously, Calvert-Lewin, like good in the air, so we do need someone who's going to be authoritative in the air. He'll probably be a bit of a miss there. But yeah, like I said, and the other thing is like Leeds are running just like Bournemouth in it, and like, we just need to be able to cope with that. Yeah, that's where I still have question marks about.
I think the good thing is one, we're at home. Second is that is one of those derby games that is a pressure game that the fans will be up for. So the players have just got to be up for it just as much. So it's not a game where they can just be passive. You know, there's certain games where they can, let's say we're playing Brentford or like a Palace at home, where it's easy for them to be passive. That's not going to be the case. The crowd is going to be up for these games. They won't want to lose to Leeds at home. So I think that may help them. But I just think it's important that we get that 3 points. I think that win is important, especially going into like that Chelsea game, where more or less it will be like a free hit kind of game. And those games are a lot more dangerous and gives us a lot more confidence. It'll be a lot more dangerous for Chelsea because the pressure will be all on them, really, and we just gonna have to go there and frustrate them. So, and as I said, I think we're devastating the counter as long as we keep it compact, tight. With what the space that they're giving Everton, maybe we can get some of that. Just maybe. So,
Sanchez for a goal, man. But he'll give it to us, isn't it?
Yeah, so cool. Look, let's just do a roundup on the weekend game. We've run out of time. Just got like a few more minutes. Should we say? Look, we'll start with your favorite team, Akeem Spurs. A relegation fight.
6-pointer.
The 6-pointer. And yeah, they managed to lose.
Bro, I really wanted to watch that game, but I had to make a travel, bro. So I missed that game. I only saw the results. I came home, watched the highlights.
Do you see the fans like cheering up their like coach when it was going into the stadium?
Is that what he did?
Yeah, bro. Just for them to put up the performance. To be first half, like I think Forest started off a better team, and then come 20 minutes towards the end of the first half, they'll start playing well. But then Forest nicked the goal right at the end of like the first half, and and I think that just killed them really. That goal right before the end of the first half killed them, and they've never been able to bounce back from that. Really, knowing that you're playing like your relegation rival.
You know, I feel sorry for the fans. That's embarrassing. Like, there's one thing losing a game.
No. Habib, why do you feel sorry for Tottenham fans?
Don't get me wrong. I want them to get relegated, but imagine you're supporting a team, right? That doesn't even have any business being in a relegation fight. Doesn't have any business being in there, and you're losing to your relegation mates. 3-0 at home, and you're meant to be big at home. And you're meant to be big Tottenham. Like, it doesn't get any more embarrassing than that. Like,
champions of Europe, they say. That's what they say. The cheat.
I know we were talking about a relegation, and I was personally saying like it's a joke. Surely not. But now they've got to be favourites to go down, because if you're losing 3-0 to your relegation rivals, West Ham are better than them as well. They're the worst of the three, so surely they're favourites to go down. Like, it's real now. Like.
Yes, it's more than real. It's more than real because next week, I mean, like the next round of games, not next week, the week after, should we say, or in 2 weeks?
3 weeks. 3 weeks.
West Ham can really apply pressure because West Ham plays first. They're playing on Friday night against Wolves. They win that game. Spurs are in the relegation.
Please, West Ham. I just go buy West Ham top.
They'll win that game. They're in the relegation zone. And Spurs play on a Sunday away to Sunderland.
Oh,
so that it gets real now. Do you know what I mean? West Ham wins that Friday night, they are actually in the relegation zone. So that's how bad it is now.
Do you know what I found so funny about today's game? Yeah, they played 4-4-2. Yeah, Mickey van der Ven on the left, and he had to come off. Like, fair enough. Like, mistake. Say that. Like, Solanke and Richarlison played up front as a 2. They were hardly together. And when you play a two up front like that, you at least want to see a chance or two created by both your no chances from them whatsoever. Like, it's like, honestly,
they did create chances.
No, I'm talking about from having them two up front though. Like, as in, where do you see the
you want to see a combination between them?
Yeah.
You want to see them?
Yeah, but you can't expect that as if like they've been playing together for years. You can't just like things don't magically happen like that. You just put two people together and all of a sudden they want to see. It don't really happen like that, bro.
I hear your point. You've got a very strong point there. But I'll take it back. Like, this is
not Dwight York and Andy Cole. Like, strikers time to gel together. You know what I mean? These guys are used to playing up top.
No, that's a very fair point. But I would like to add, what don't they train on the same training pitch together?
Like, yeah, they do. But as I'm saying, they might occupy the same space. They might say like they're both right-footed. They both might want to pick up the ball on the right.
I'll concede.
I'm saying so. I can understand if one is left-footed or whatever it is. It's a look. That's what he decides to go with, innit? Like, it didn't work, but they did create chances, but it just wasn't good enough. Let's just put it as plain as that. It's as if like these players, they're all talking to their agents and saying, planning how they're gonna get out of this. Like, literally, that's what it is. Because I think
that's the key.
right.
I think that's the key, because I think with the other teams, they probably know if they get relegated, then they're not gonna leave their teams. So they actually want to fight to stay in the Premier League and have that pay packet. Whereas with Tottenham, there's a lot of players who, even though they're playing terribly, they'll probably all get bigger moves. Like, they're not all going to stay in the Championship, and that's probably the reason why they don't have the fight and the hunger that all these other teams do as well.
Yeah, and I don't think their relegation clause is 50% wage deduction. A lot of them will be on 100 grand. They'll still get 50 grand a week. Whereas these other, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of these other teams, like West Ham, apart from like Bowen, a lot of them won't have.
Has that been confirmed that they have a relegation clause in their contracts?
Yeah,
Tottenham players.
Yeah, 50. I think it was the Athletics that released. I need to double check, but yeah.
Okay.
Because I think any team will want to, like, even if you don't foresee it happening, you still got to put that in regardless, though, right? You just never.
Yeah,
know.
but I don't think most teams. I don't think teams like Man United or
You'll be surprised. You'll be surprised. Anything can happen, especially Leicester winning the league. Well, after Leicester won the league, if you're not, especially what happened to you last season as well, and teams
That's
are
what I
not.
was going to say. I think after last season, United and Tottenham flirting above it. I think everyone's got to be just in case.
You'll be surprised. And I won't be surprised if players' agent put a release clause for any relegation. Because if your players get relegated, you'll be a release clause to make it easier to get out. So it'll be vice versa. So I would be surprised if the Spurs ain't done that, then they're in bigger trouble than it is. Because let's say, for example, no one wants to pay their wages. How are they going to leave? They're not going to leave the club. I remember that happened with Sunderland, and I think there's different examples when what's his name? It's that former Everton player, the midfielder. He went to Sunderland. The light skinned guy was from, I think.
James Vaughan.
James Vaughan. Yeah, it's not Vaughan. Is it Vaughan? The midfielder?
Yeah.
Is it Vaughan?
Yeah.
And then when Sunderland got double back-to-back relegation, but he was still getting paid the same.
I remember you telling me this story still.
It was like on the documentary, and it was just walking around with slippers because they couldn't get rid of him, and they couldn't pay him. And I think there's this thing: if they pay him, then they'll pay him more, or something like that. Yeah. So those are examples there that clubs won't make. I don't think, especially someone like Daniel Levy. If you want Daniel Levy, then I can say, bear in mind, Daniel Levy would have handled a lot of their contracts. I don't think he takes any chances. I don't think. But I would love to see.
It's funny how now Daniel Levy's gone. They're in this mess.
Yeah, bro.
And they were slating him, cussing him, get him out my club. Yeah. He doesn't invest in. He doesn't.
That's the way they are now. So, yeah. Look, they just obviously
North East Derby.
Yeah. Sunderland.
Mate, they leapfrog Newcastle in the table.
Bro, why is Eddie Howe playing Watermother in midfield? Is he a midfielder?
He's trying to Joe Linton Watermother.
I like Joe Linton, bro.
I didn't want to do it again.
I like Joe Linton.
Yeah, like they didn't do enough, man. I guess he should have started Willock, but he didn't. So, and he had Ramsey on the bench as well. So no, Ramsey played, right? No, Ramsey started.
Yeah, Ramsey.
They did over them, right?
He had
they beat them at Stadium of Light as well, isn't it?
Yeah, they beat them twice.
Newcastle should never have done what they did with the whole. They changed the whole bar thing when they played them in the cup a couple of seasons ago, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that's not Newcastle. I can't remember what they did. They did something disrespectful, saying that, and they took offense to it. So it's holding them back. But I hope Sunderland's done a documentary this season as well. So I would love to see that because that was probably one of the best I've seen. That's probably one of the best I've seen. I hope they've done it again. So we'll see. West Ham, obviously, we talked about West Ham. They lost to Villa. We talked about Villa gaining points as well. So it'll be interesting to see how Villa moves on. Who's Villa got next? They've got away to Forest. Was not a tough game. Liverpool's at home to Fulham. We're at home to Leeds. So Chelsea's got the hardest game. So Chelsea, you can even drop further out.
But I think all those games are tough in their own risk, in their own right.
Yeah. Fair.
All those games are tough still for every opponent. They're not a foregone conclusion.
And I can't nowadays. I don't even look at the fixtures because we're losing to teams like Everton. You're losing to teams like Bournemouth.
Man, saying teams don't Habib. This is what I'm saying. Like I made that comparison between the Premier League now and Serie A in the 90s. I'm really seeing similarities. Like teams are defensively organized, defensively structured, tactically aware. And if you're not on your game, you will find out. You'll receive an upset.
Anyone can get it.
Yeah,
we beating drawing against Man City. Like I feel like it's gone out of days where you can just say, okay, that's 3 points. That's 3 points on the schedule.
Forget those days.
Yeah,
it's not that no more. Like, teams are well coached. Look at Bournemouth from Iraola, well coached team.
Yeah,
well organized. They can, and they got players that can play as well.
So you're saying you can beat Man City?
You can beat Man City. You can lose them. You can get battered by them. It's I hope you beat them, bro. To be honest with you,
I don't think beating Man City is going to be a surprise.
Yeah, it won't be a surprise.
It was going to be at the Etihad. They didn't beat you. So
yeah.
Or you go in there and beat. I mean, you beating them at home. It's not like a shot. It's not going to be a shot. It's not as if like Man City. We're talking about the same mighty Man City. It's Man City that have been inconsistent. So
you stayed awake for the Everton match. Trust me, it would be a shock to you if we beat Man City.
Yeah, everyone's like that. You had good games, you had bad games. Like it's just how it is, really. So anything can happen. It's not that I want you to win. Don't get me wrong. Of course, I want you to lose. But anything can happen. The last game is the Fulham game. Look, if there's one team that I want to make European football, it'll be Fulham because
they deserve it.
They deserve it. There's one team that played good football throughout the whole season, and I've loved watching Fulham. Like,
and I like their manager too.
Play, whether they win, lose, you're gonna be entertained. And they've always try and play. Like, credit to the manager. Obviously, with the players he's utilizing the players he's got, and they've always tried to play. They've always provided like your money's value whenever you watch them. So if there's one team that I hope out all the ones that we're talking about, the Brentford, the Brightons, we also do mention Everton, Chelsea, whatever it is, if there's any team that want to make it, it will be them. Like at minimum, I would love for them to get European football because I thought that they've done well, and rightly so. Again, I thought it was a close game against Burnley till the end. To be fair, they were dominating. They was missing a lot of chances as well, but Burnley obviously has got the goal. Burnley could have scored first and earlier on. The keeper made a great save. And then, Fulham just continued to dominate. And I think
the Bruv can let them in, man.
Huh?
The Bruv can let them in.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
yeah, that. But they had a lot of chances before that where he's made great saves. But it was, they deserve to win overall anyway, should I say. I think that's it this week, man. International break next week. Next week I might not be here, so you might need to replace me because I'm on holiday next week.
Oh yeah, nice.
Yeah, so I'm away next week. So you guys need to replace me. I'll sort something out with Saeed in regards to like getting everything ready for next week.
Try to get a Spurs fan on, right? Let's try and do that.
Yeah, let's try and get a Spurs fan on. It would be nice.
Bro, the ones I know don't want to talk to me right now.
That's what I was thinking. He wants to even speak.
I'll find it.
And then maybe just obviously talk about the England, the call-ups for England, because I know he's done slightly different. He's done it different this time around. He's called up more players than he needs to.
Yeah.
Because 11 players are not actually joining up with a team. 11 are not joining up until next weekend. Like the likes of Saka, Harry Kane, the ones that I feel like he probably there confirmed to go, they're not joining up. Then the players that he's called up, he's saying that it's slightly just to see them and to give them an opportunity to prove themselves. So hence the reason why I know Sai was emailing about Maynard. So it's not flex because they're all doing audition. All of them are doing audition. Like Garner, he's called them up because he wants to see them and to see what they're like in it. So I think he's slightly doing different. So maybe you can talk about that next week or anything else that you guys feel like talking about, man. But I'll see if I can still join. If not, I'll obviously let you boys know.
For any Leeds and Brentford fans, like we missed out that game, but it was
Leeds Brentford, yeah. But they can still make Champions. They can still make Champions League.
Yeah, they can still make Champions League.
Yeah.
I fell asleep in that game as well, to be fair. So yeah, look, thanks people. Thanks for tuning in again. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Click the like button, turn on your notification to know whenever we upload. I will be back next week, man, with a bit more football talk and more debate. No Premier League next week, so we'll take a break from Chelsea losing. I'm sure they'll be back.
I'm not even going to try to throw a punch, but we deserve it.
I'll leave you all with one last stat about Chelsea before we go. Chelsea have been outrun by every Premier League team they played this season. There you go.
When you hear stats like that, how am I going to fight back? I'm done fighting. I'm not going to fight. Until my team fights for me, I'm going to stop fighting.
Yes, that's the attitude. That's the attitude I had for my team for years. So, yeah.
All right, cool. Peace, boys.
Nice, man. Respect.